Good morning, I'm Miss Hindali. I will be teaching you science this year. Hope you enjoy science with me, and now let's start.
Theme 1 Systems. Repeat after me. Systems. Systems. Concept 1 Adaptation and Survival. Adaptation and Survival. Lesson 2 is talking about types of adaptation. Types of adaptation. Types of adaptation. Types of adaptation. Now we will learn about types of adaptation. There are more than two types of adaptation, but in this course we will learn only about two types of adaptation. The first one is structural adaptation. Now repeat after me. Structural, structural adaptation. The second type is behavioral. Now repeat after me. Behavioral, behavioral. Behavioral adaptation. So we have structural adaptation and behavioral adaptation. Now let's compare between structural adaptation and behavioral adaptation. Structural adaptation is a change in the structure of animal's body to adapt to its environment. An example for the structural adaptation is the blood vessels in the penguin's feet. Another example is the thick fur of the polar bear. So we have two examples for structural adaptation: the blood vessels in the penguin's feet and the thick fur of the polar bear. Now let's talk about behavioral adaptation. Behavioral adaptation is a change in the behaviors or acts of a group of animals to adapt to its environment. Example for behavioral adaptation: desert lizard looks for shade during hot sunny days. So desert lizard looks for shade during hot sunny days. And migration of some animals towards certain regions, like birds. Migration means the traveling of some animals long distance at a certain time of the year. So we have known the definition of structural adaptation, the definition of behavioral adaptation, and two examples for both of them. Now let's talk about fennec fox. I know that we have talked before about fennec fox, but today we're going to talk about the structural adaptation and the behavioral adaptation of the fennec fox. Now repeat after me: fennec fox, fennec fox, fennec fox. Fennec fox, it's a habitat. Where does the fennec fox live? The fennec fox lives in a desert. We've said before that fennec fox lives in desert. Saying a desert doesn't matter. Not a big deal. Now let's talk about its structural adaptation. It has sandy colored fur, and when we say sandy colored fur, we mean that it has the color of the fur of the fennec fox is the same color of the sand. So it has sandy colored fur. What is the main purpose of the sandy colored fur? The fennec fox to blend in with desert and to protect it from hot sun. Okay, the second structural adaptation is it has extra large ears that help the fennec fox to lose heat and to cool its body. The third structural adaptation is it has a special shape of ears that allow an excellent hearing to help fennec fox hunt. So we know where does the fennec fox live and three structural adaptation. Now let's talk about its behavioral adaptation. It pants like dogs, where it takes up to 700 breaths per minute to cool its body. So fennec fox takes up to 700 breaths per minute to cool its body. The second behavioral adaptation is it lives in burrows, which are excellent places to stay cool during sunny days. So remember that fennec fox lives in burrows. Fennec fox lives in burrows. And the third behavioral adaptation is it eats different kinds of food, like insects, fruit, plant roots, and even leftovers from another animal's prey, because food can be hard to find in the hot, dry deserts. Now let's talk about Arctic fox. Repeat after me: Arctic fox, Arctic fox, Arctic fox. Its habitat. Where does the Arctic fox live? The Arctic fox lives in tundra. Repeat after me: tundra, tundra, Tundra. So fennec fox lives in hot desert and Arctic fox lives in tundra. Tundra is a different type of desert with temperature as cold as 50 degrees below zero in winter months. Its structural adaptation. The first structural adaptation is it has a thick fur coat to keep its body warm in extreme cold climate. The second structural adaptation is its fur coat is white during the winter but turns to brown in summer when the snow melts. To help it sneaks up on its prey in any season. So in winter its coat or its fur is white, while in summer its fur is brown. In winter, white. In summer, brown. The third structural adaptation is it has short ears and legs to help it stay warm. The fourth structural adaptation is it has a special shape of ears that allow excellent hearing to help Arctic fox to hunt. Its behavioral adaptation. It lives in burrows, which are excellent places for it to stay warm at night. So we have two types of animals that live in burrows: Arctic fox and fennec fox. The second behavioral adaptation is it eats different kinds of food, like insects, fruit, plant roots, and even leftovers from another animal's prey, because food can be hard to find in the cold tundra. Now let's talk about bull shark. Repeat after me. Bull shark, bull shark, bull shark. Its habitat. Where does the bull shark live? The bull shark lives in fresh water and salt water. Fresh water and salt water. Repeat after me. Fresh water, salt water. Fresh water, salt water. Its structural adaptation. The first structural adaptation for bull shark is its body. Its body is adapted to survive in fresh water, so it has a unique advantage over other sharks. So its body is adapted to survive in fresh water, so it has a unique advantage over other sharks. The second structural adaptation of the bull shark is it has a dark back and wide belly that causes the following. When an animal is swimming above the bull shark and this animal is looking down into the ocean, it may not see the shark in the shadows due to its dark back. And when an animal is swimming underneath the bull shark and looking up, the bull shark may blend in with the bright light of the sun due to its wide belly. So the bull shark can sneak up on its prey using a camouflage strategy called counter shading. Now repeat after me. Counter shading, counter shading, counter shading. The third structural adaptation is it has a sharp teeth to catch its prey and tear its flesh. Its behavioral adaptation. It can hunt in different places like salt water and fresh water, so it can feed on different types of food. It hunts in day as well as at night, so its prey can predict when this shark will hunt next time. Now let's talk about Panther Chameleon. Repeat after me. Panther Chameleon. Panther Chameleon. Panther Chameleon. Panther Chameleon. Its habitat. Where does it live? It lives in tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest. Its structural adaptation. It has brightly colored scales that provide camouflage with the surrounding environment that contains green leaves and colorful flowers. The second structural adaptation is chameleon's eye. Chameleon's eye move in opposite direction, where each eye can move independently from the other. So one eye can be searching for something like insects and the other is looking out for danger in totally different direction. This adaptation allows the panther chameleon to hunt its prey and avoid becoming a prey at the same time. The third structural adaptation of panther chameleon is it has a very long sticky tongue to hunt insects for feeding. So it has very long sticky tongue to hunt insects for feeding. The fourth structural adaptation of panther chameleon, it has a V-shaped feet and a tail like a hand to hold tightly the branches of trees. It's a behavioral adaptation. Now let's talk about the behavioral adaptation of Panther Chameleon. When the chameleon finds itself in danger, it doesn't have teeth or claws for defense, but it has one last trick to scare its attacker, where it appears Alpheus as the following. It puffs up its body with air, it opens its mouth wide, and it changes the colors of its scales. So, it puffs up its body with air, it opens its mouth wide, and it changes the colors of its scales.
Okay, thank you for watching. If you need anything to ask about, just comment me below, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.